I mean, I founded the Innovation Lab at New York University, and we've explored a lot of different technologies through it. And AI, fundamentally, at the end of the day, is just a tool, right? It's not actually anything fancy or magical. It's a tool for parsing large data sets. And all that matters for the output of that data set is what you put into that data set. So the underlying value of AI is the data you feed it.
And what I hope for out of this is the next evolution in our industry, where AI is a tool and a tool only that's at the mercy of the creatives.
AI is it's not just the big baddie. It's not just categorically bad.
AI understands patterns, and it's really good at that. And I think that that is an amazing tool for an artist, for someone who's self-reflective, to use that kind of technology to understand our own patterns as humanity. And I'm hoping that we can use AI as a way to reflect on our humanity.
It should be down to the choice and the subjectivity of the creative. It shouldn't be at the behest of the studio as a cost-saving measure. If AI is there and they want to use it in some capacity that does not cost anyone a job, writers, background, makeup, whatever, fine. But if they want to use it as some sort of tool to help them get somewhere, so long as it doesn't cost anybody a job,
it will become more like a guitar pedal to a guitarist, where they play a note and then all of a sudden it goes into this box and it goes and then it comes out as this new sound.
I think that there's a lot of negativity about what this all means and negativity around AI in general. And I feel strongly about that with big companies. But I also think as an artist, it's really important an individual artist, it's really important to be able to use all the tools that I possibly can for my own benefit.
And so I'm hoping that AI will become a guitar pedal of sorts for writers, and just more of a tool. And I think people are starting to be more comfortable with the idea of it as a tool rather than a full-on replacement.
AI is very scary. It's very scary.
AI is the one issue that I've probably lost the most sleep on. And I think it's because it is the great unknown.
Put certain words together because it says, these are the words that humans respond to. But it has no humanity, right?
I think storytelling is such an innate thing for human beings. And when you try to develop stories from, a being that isn't sentient, it ruins the path of storytelling that's been told for, 40,000 years, however long humans have been around.
Is they're gonna be cheaper, more efficient, has more production values or whatever, but there wouldn't not be the heart and soul, which is only a human can produce.
I don't think there's a way for non-sentient beings to be able to tell the stories in the ways that human beings can.
We're fighting for our survival, I believe.
I always tend to say, especially as a background actor, we keep a film from looking like an apocalypse.
Like just Wall Street. Just take Wall Street, for example. Just take all the background out of that, and what do you have?
Right? I mean, we give it life.
Babylon, take all the background out of that, replace it with AI, and AI is not at where people want it to be.
Unfortunately, what AI is providing is taking away our lives, our industry.
Why even bother taking us out of the process, the magic, to put in a computerized graphic that you still can't even control? You still have to manipulate when you can talk to the thousands of us who want to be there. We're professionals. This is art. We make careers out of this.
So one would actually think that my data is more valuable being put into an AI system as the potential for generative multiple deliverables than as a single deliverable for one product, right? If I act in one movie, you have one movie. If I give you a script, you have one script. But if you're using me as a library for generative AI, I have exponential value. So shouldn't I be paid exponential?
It makes me upset that the way that the laws have landed right now, where we're at with AI, that a fictional character or a logo has more copyrights than I do on my own voice.
I feel like right now we're not just fighting for our industry, we're fighting for storytelling as a whole, not allowing something to take that away from us. But so many people in other industries go to the movies to feel something. And I just feel like without having that human aspect to it, it takes away from that.
The kind of studio executive players are wanting to take this very odd, misrepresentative position that once something is integrated into an AI system or data set, it loses its copyright. It loses its ownership, right? Oh no, now we own it and we can do anything we want. That isn't, I think, actually an argument that our partners should or want to be making because they haven't thought it through yet.
And I wish that these, the producers, the AMP, TP, would understand that this is a beast that they will not even be able to wield themselves if they continue to use it.
If that is true, if that holds true, then once Disney gets integrated into one of these data sets, they no longer own their IP. They no longer own their copyright. So if you don't have chain of title, you can't distribute intellectual property. You can't transactionalize it, you can't license it, because no one owns anything anymore. So I'm not really sure then how anyone is supposed to make a business off of an AI product if the core tenet of AI is that no one owns anything. Then you can't monetize anything, then you can't own anything. So then therefore, how does anyone gain value from AI? Rather than the conversation of data dignity from Jared Lanier, of the idea of we all own our data, we all own everything, we all participate somewhat in the transaction of that data, which I think is a much more sound and sustainable argument long term.
If you're just outputting content, these big companies, or even look at our social media feeds, it's a lot of really dumb, mindless doom scrolling content. And it's doing something to us as a culture, and technologically, these algorithms on Instagram, on TikTok, not only do they know what our habits are, they were designed to change our habits, to make us more addicted to feeling angry, to feeling aroused, to feeling frustrated.
An element that they don't get because they're trying to take out the creative element with AI. And I think AI could be a beautiful tool, but it could also be a really dangerous weapon.
I'm very afraid because it can usurp diversity.
We can't allow them to do that. We have to fight for this because it just doesn't affect our industry. It affects everyone.
An AI-generated influencer. Her name is Michaela. I don't know if she's still represented by Creative Artists Agency, but she was represented by them. They signed her as a client.
As a person of color, as an African American, we're already trying to fight to get in the room.
She was a hugely popular influencer. She had different political statements and agendas that she had, and she was also a combination of people that gave her a very ethnically ambiguous look. She's kind of half black, maybe Asian, maybe something else.
People and their work are getting replaced by AI.
So instead of hiring signing a real, woman of color artist, CAA gave it the signing away to somebody who can be completely controlled.
Now they don't need us at all because they'll have a computer to be able to say, okay, write this urban comedy about blah, 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 blah.
Performers and things that can be completely controlled by the company that owns them. I think that's a really dangerous precedent, and how you also don't get pushback and don't get challenges.
It is scary to be in this time where we are having to fight a machine that will have no standards or practices or no regulation.
And there should be regulation.
Because that's all of human progress is challenging and pushing back. And I don't think we want a society of people who are just starving and not able.
We're able to move people by the stories that we tell. And that's why I love this industry so much, because for me as an artist, it gives me the opportunity to move people in ways that I never would have dreamed of by just talking to you, by putting something on a page, by putting it on the screen. It has the ability to change people's lives. And that's why we fight. That's why we fight so hard, and that's what this should be about.